All right, champ.
All right. How we
Hey,
doing?
how'd it go?
It went well. Uh, First round, I mean, obviously we ended at the open. So, um, and we got to do all the fun open workouts. And the one that got me was, I guess, the thrusters, like the one rep max. Like that was the one where it was which one was it? That was the burpees with the shuttle run into the one rep max. Those two. And the one rep max kind of got me because we had to take ours from the rack.
Mm.
Man, instead of having like the clean to kind of give me that extra momentum, like I wasn't ready for that because I've never trained it. So um I did 145 pounds, which is like six no, yeah, like 62 kilograms, I think.
No, more.
More than
135 is
that?
61. So
61. Okay.
another 10
So
pounds is
another
roughly 5 kilos. So it's maybe 66, 65.
66. Yeah, 65, 66. So like, I mean, I wasn't mad about it, but I mean, I also could have done better. Like I think my last set I was gonna do like a 100, like a 20-pound jump, so 10 kilogram jump, and
Mm.
I should have gone with like a 5 to 10 pound jump. And but I mean, it is what it is. You live and you learn, and I'm still on top, so that's all that matters to me.
Dude,
Even if I have to share, but it is what it is. It is what it is.
there's a lot of, I don't want to use the term able-bodied, right? But there's a lot of people
Yeah,
out there that can't thrust at 60 fucking 1 kilos, 65 kilos. Because
yeah,
it's a decent weight on your front rack. You got to squat and then you got to continuously press it above head, right? Out of a
yeah.
squat. Like that's rough, man.
It is.
That's an
Especially
impressive.
after doing a bunch of burpees and
Yeah, all that
running
shit.
right before that. I can't remember. Like, was that an AMRAP? Was that a 15-minute AMRAP?
Yeah, and it
12
kept
minute?
going up, didn't it? I think it was like
Yeah.
5 and then 10 shuttle sprints and
Yeah.
then
Went up
10 and then
five.
10 sprint. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. That was right. Yeah. I try to forget about that one.
Yeah. All I can remember is I was in a hole and I think slobber was coming out of my mouth. Like it wasn't
Yeah.
wasn't a pretty sight, man.
Yeah. I got up to, I think, the 55 burpees. And I just remember like wanting to just lay down, but I'm like, I can't because as soon as I lay down, like I'm not going to be able to do the thrusters. And that was not fun. And then
What
the
keeps you
second time
going, man?
what keeps me going, like during a workout,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't like losing. And like the hardest part, like with our division at the moment, is like there's not a lot of like in-person competition. So like I have to sit here and think that the other person is doing more than me.
Yeah.
So like it's not like I can sit here and like look at them and say, all right, he's on round number five with 10 minutes to go, so I gotta step it up. Or like I can cool down, like I don't want to calm all the way down, but calm down a little bit. But like I have to pretend like he's at the same pace, they're at the same pace I am, whatever the event is. So I'm just sitting there thinking in my head, all right, he's ahead of me. It's kind of like a video game when you do like like a racing video game. You have that
Yeah.
ghost driver.
Yeah.
It's like trying to catch up and stay in front of that guy and pretending like someone's there going alongside me, and I just go.
It's that kind of fear of the unknown, right? Self-inflicted fear of the unknown. Like what
Yeah,
if the other person out there or the other people out there are doing one more than me, 10 more than me, one more
yeah,
session, working a little bit harder in the day job, whatever it might be. It's like, that fear of the unknown, I think, has kept us going for so long, us human beings.
yeah,
I think it's just that constant fire in our ass, just like, oh shit, I
yeah,
gotta keep going. I gotta keep pushing. I gotta keep pursuing something.
yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, now I guess the government here in the United States is saying that aliens do exist or something. I don't know. I didn't pay any attention to it. So like, I'm just like, yeah, like, so, but what are we gonna do about it? Like, if they show up, like, are we ready for that? No,
Yeah.
we're not ready. Like, the world's not ready for that. They probably looking at us and saying, man, these guys don't know what to do with themselves. Like, They're gonna let them take care of themselves, and then we'll go in and steal all the resources later.
Yeah, these monkey people just arguing over things that don't make any
Yeah,
sense, and then they change leaders
exactly.
every 4 years. It's like
Yeah,
just whatever, man.
yeah,
There's quite a lot of things in life that I reserve the right to have zero opinion on. I'm like, you know
yeah.
what, man? There's too much going on. I've only got a blonde brain. It's limited capacity. I'm gonna keep on working out. I'm gonna keep trying to
Yep.
help people work out. And hey, if it doesn't work out in the end, fuck it. At least we tried
But
something.
at least we tried. Yep, exactly.
Mate,
That's all that matters.
there's a question though that I've been
Okay.
asking myself a lot and also a lot of members, so in person. And it's, what are you trying to find?
Ooh, I think honestly, for me, it's respect
Wow.
from the rest of the world. Like for me, it's not anything like I'm not trying to find anything specifically for myself. Like I just like competing. I like the fitness stuff. I like just going out having fun, shooting the shit with my friends. At whether it's at the gym, at the bar, like at a game, like whatever it might be. Like that's great for me. But like I have a couple kids over here who look up to me, like who I kind of mentor, and I'm like, I want the world to change for them. Like I want the world to be better for them. Like leave the world in a better place for them than I found it. Like I mean, I'm gonna go to the store and people are gonna stare. They're gonna point. They're gonna take their like phones out and try and be sneaky and take pictures. Like I mean, I see that every like it's not that hard to spot that person doing that. But it's I want that to kind of you're gonna have that all the time. Like, but it's more that gaining that respect that from others that hey, this guy can do everything that we do. Like he just has to do it a little different. Like it's not his fault that he's short. Like it's just the way he was born. Like the way the genes were mutated. Like it is what it is. Like he can't help it. And it's not like my parents stuck. You have those tribes like we're still learning about out in like out in the Amazon like that do the weird like the spiral neck thing and make their necks longer. Like it's not like my parents did that to stop my growth. Like it is just is what it is.
Mm.
I'm not trying to stand out, like So once we get people to realize that, the better.
Yeah, it's funny how we are more accepting of lifestyle factors that we choose. We actively choose, right? We're more
Yeah,
accepting of that than we are of somebody who's just dealt a different hand.
yeah,
And
exactly.
that doesn't make much sense to me.
No, I mean, like I'm a guy who like he doesn't care like what you do. Like you're not gonna affect. If you want to, if you're a guy and like you want to dress like a girl, like so be it.
Yeah,
That's
do you
not
think?
affecting me.
Whatever.
Like do whatever. Like you're not. It doesn't bother me. Like it's not affecting my life at all. Like now, if you start coming at me and saying I should do the same thing that you're doing, then we're gonna have a talk. But at the end of the day, go do what makes you happy. Like I'm not there to change your ways, but like you said, with the physical, like if there's a physical difference, like that's when we start making fun of people. It's like I can't help it. I
Mm.
didn't just choose this. Like I'm not throwing a dress on or like makeup, whatever, like or like the opposite way. Like I'm not, dressing up like a guy as a female, like or whatever, the lifestyle you choose, like that is what it is. Like
Yeah.
it's not affecting my life. Like I don't care.
Yeah, I've been thinking a lot about it, man. I've been thinking a lot about it. And I think it ultimately comes down to entitlement and
Yep.
people allowing themselves to become the victim, right?
Yep.
And think the world owes them something. I was like, I think we owe each other something. We think
Yeah.
we know owe each other help because ultimately we're born fucking kicking and screaming, and we need your mum and dad, or at least some sort of parental figure, to help us out. We are
Yeah.
the dumbest baby on the planet. Like without that, we can't
Yeah.
survive. You've all seen the giraffe that's born and it's walking around,
Yeah. Right
or
away.
the birds that can fly. You're just like, wait, hold on a minute. You've literally just been created and now you're doing
Yeah.
things. We're just completely the opposite.
Yeah.
And I think we owe it to ourselves and other people to be able to help one another rather than, trying to trip each other up so much because they
Yeah.
believe that because of X, Y, or Z, we're
Yeah.
ahead of other people. And that doesn't make much fucking sense, mate.
No, I'm no different than you. Like, yeah, I'm a little shorter, but guess what? We're both throwing about a bunch of weight. We're both out here doing this thing called life, and at the end of the day, we're going to end up in the same spot.
Yeah.
So,
How
I
how
mean,
would you change it?
education, educate as much as I can. I mean, some of it just stems from like kids like being curious. Like the kids are not the ones I'm worried about. Like, I mean, kids are kids. Like they're gonna be curious. Like they're still, it's like you just said, like you mentioned, like, we're born the dumbest babies on earth. Like, like but that also leaves so much room for us to learn and to grow and to become better. And and so at the end of the day, like we educate. If we educate everybody, then they learn and they grow and they become better, and then they educate the next person, like paying it forward.
Hmm.
So I think that's our best bet, is just to kind of educate and pay it forward.
Yeah, I feel like a child's mind is malleable, right? It's quite warm
Yeah.
and it flows from thing to thing and it's open. And
Yeah.
our mindset as adults, we kind of look at that as a weakness, right? And maybe that's a strength
Yeah.
of, oh, we could stay open to these things. We could be malleable. We could change. We could be open. And rather than like being solid like a stone, we can write it in sand and it changes twice a day when the tide comes in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we need to learn a little bit more from kids.
I think that's a good way to put it. That's a good analogy. I like that one, actually. I really like that, actually. So I mean, I know I'm not ignorant enough to know that I can't get better or be better, learn more, like educate myself on more things. Like, I mean, just yesterday I was at an event, like it was, can't remember what the acronym stands for, but it's a group I've been working with, nonprofit, helps create opportunities in sports for, you know, disabled people, like humans.
Mm.
And like, there's all these kids walking around, wheeling around, like whatever their mode of transportation is. I'm like, this is awesome. And like, I'm watching them play basketball. I'm watching them play tennis. Like they're coming over. Like one kid, like we had a little CrossFit, like fitness, adaptive fitness, like uh demo going on, and like kids are on the C2, like concept two rowing machine, like just messing, like going to town. And one kid just goes, row your boat gently up the street,
Love it.
yelling at this kid to get him motivated. And I just lost it. I was like, that's so innocent, like such an innocent,
Yeah.
like that I totally would never have thought of that, because my brain is not there right now. My brain is, hey, quit being a little bitch and go. And I'm like, obviously not gonna say that to a kid. I'm like, that is the greatest thing I've ever heard. I'm gonna use it from now on.
Yeah. Yeah, there's so much to learn from them, man. I
Yeah.
think there's so much to learn from each other, though, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you know different things than I do, and I know different things than you do. Like part of it's just the culture where we grew up, like,
Mm.
where we're living now, like what we've done, like the life experiences we've had, like, and now it's just getting out there and having fun, enjoying it, and teaching each other the same thing, like what we've learned.
Well, it looks like the fitness thing's going well.
Yeah, it's
So where
definitely.
where do you want to take it next?
Where do I want to take it next? I'd like to grow our adaptive class. Like we have an adaptive class going on. It's been going on for 2.5 months now, I think, 3 months. I can't remember when exactly we started. But I mean, each week, like it varies. Like we'll have one group. Like obviously, I want to get as many people as I can.
Mm.
But one week we'll have 8 to 10 people. The next week it might be two. I think some of it's based off the weather. Others, like depending on. I know there's like a stroke support group that meets every third week. So a lot of our clients will be at that, which that's perfect. Like, great. Like, that's what we want. Like, one, like, it opens up, hey, I'm missing my adaptive CrossFit class to be here. Like, you guys should come next week.
Mm.
Like, but I mean, I just want to show people that fitness is like can be accessible to everybody. Like, if you have the right people in place to help fix that or like to show you that, like, because I'm still learning. Like, I have my adaptive inclusive training certification now. I have my L1, so like I have all of the fun certifications, but like it doesn't mean anything if I don't do anything with it. And that's kind of where I want to take it next, is just to kind of, if they want to become competitive in it, then let's do it. But if they just want to show up for the support, the community, which is even better to me in my mind, is, the competition side you can lose like within, like you can lose it overnight based off of an injury, or something happens, like you can lose that. But if you have that community around you, like that, they'll always be there. It doesn't matter what happens to you. Like, let's say I were to go out and knock on wood, like get into an accident, and then next thing you know, like I'm done with my competitive career. Like, I hope not. Like, but at the end of the day, like it can be taken away from me in a heartbeat, just as much as, easily as I can accept it and keep doing it. So just build that community.
I heard something this last week of fitness is a leveler, and it's been stewing around in my brain for the past week. Like every day, I'm just like, yeah, man, it really is a level. It's a playing field. It's a level playing
Yeah.
field of like it really doesn't matter of the weight on the bar being different, the size of the barbell being different. It's like it all sucks.
Yeah.
It's all hard, and you're facing yourself. You really are facing yourself. You know, every
Yeah.
time I go for a heavy lift or a hard workout, a long one, a fast one, it doesn't matter. I am now the implements,
Yep.
and I'm trying to defeat me on both
Yep.
sides. It's like the good and the bad wolf, right? Which one are you gonna feed, motherfucker?
Yeah.
And
That's
ever,
the
I
way
think,
to.
I think everyone needs that, man. I really do. I think everyone needs forcing into their own abyss so they can
Yeah.
kind of see what smiles back at them.
Yeah. Like, I know, like a lot of our people, like a lot of our athletes, like we've had since they've started. Like, we had one girl, she's 14. Um, had some form of brain cancer when she was younger, so like her left side's like non, like her left side's like she's like not like it's functioning, but not as well as the right side.
Yeah.
It's what, hemiplasia, I think is what they call that. And but like she did a 14-inch box jump.
Wow.
Like, we were obviously, like, I mean, the first time she did it, we were sitting there, we had two people on each side, like kind of holding her hand, just more for the confidence thing than anything. Like, but she did all the work. Like, our hands were there just to make sure she was comfortable doing it. And like, I was like, do you ever think you'd be able to do that or do it again? She's like, no. It's like, well, here we are. We're giving you that confidence that you can grow and still do things that you wanted to do. Like, we had one guy, stroke patient or stroke I don't want to say victim. I don't like that term. Like, a stroke athlete. I'll call him that. Like, he never thought he'd be able to run again, and here he is outside running 200 meters. Like, and then as part of the WOD like workout, like he'd go run 200 meters, come back, do some jump ropes. We switched it over to jumping jacks eventually, just the need like our ropes are. I mean, our ropes are cheap ropes, like, is what it is. But like, everybody, goes to buy them in bulk. But like, they needs to be a touch heavier, I think, for him, so that he could get that momentum. But I mean, we switched over to jumping jacks. Here he is doing jumping jacks, some devil's press, and like a run. And I'm like, let's go.
Mate, by pursuing this thing, I hope you realize that you are inspiring a hell of a lot more people than you realize. Like not
I
just
hope
in
so.
the adaptive scene, mate, but outside of that, of you're challenging a solidified mind of like, oh, but what if things were different? what if I'm going to attack this from the other side of the table, or I'm going to be on the other side of the fence? The water is green, the grass is greener where you are at the end of the day, and
Yeah.
we've been watering one patch of grass for too long. No wonder the other side's gone a little bit brown.
Yeah.
You know, what happens if we go over there and start fucking watering the whole thing? Like everything's going to start
Yeah.
flourishing, right? And
Yep.
I think that's a beautiful thing. How many
Yeah.
raindrops does it take to make a ripple? It takes one, and all you got to do is help one, and they'll help the next person. And if we all do
Yeah.
that, yeah, it sounds a bit euphoric. It sounds like a little bit
But
of a big thing to buy it off. It's in an ideal world, but when you break it down, when you zoom in far enough, it's really not that hard. You just got to help one
no.
person,
Yep.
a singular person, just one of
Yeah.
them.
Help one, and that just keeps going. Like, one thing I always like, I want to live up to, like, my grandpa created a legacy, and like, of like helping others, like being around to help others. And like that's what he always did. Like, it was whether it was helping like with the Special Olympics over here, or helping like, my aunt was a swimmer, so like he helped found like a swim league in this area. And so like, he wanted everybody to be able to do whatever they wanted to do, however they had to do it. And so like he helped me get to like our LPA conventions, like Little People of America conventions. Like when I first started, he's like, "You're going." I'm telling you, like, this is a story I've heard my dad say. He's like, "Your grandpa said that like we were going to go, and like no matter what, like he was going to help us." So like, I mean, I haven't been since 2016, but I mean, obviously, like COVID happened and other bunch of other things. But I mean, it is what it is. But like I said, that's what I want to do, is continue on that legacy of his, of helping others. And at the end of the day, like my medals will rust, like the shirts will deteriorate, like everything's gonna be gone. But like if I can keep that one little thing of this adaptive class, like or people helping others, like, and that's what I get remembered by, then I've done well.
Medals rust. I like that analogy, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's metal. Like you put a little water on it, expose it to some oxygen, and it's rusting right away.
Yeah, that's completely right, mate. Like I can't wait for them to do a competition where there's multiple different, like physically, like if I watch it with the naked eye and didn't know what the fuck is going on, there's a bunch of people that look like they got different limitations doing fitness on the floor.
Yeah,
But if you zoom in and you look in a little bit more in depth, they're doing the same shit.
yeah,
They're all doing some sort of burpee. They're all doing some sort of an object goes from the floor and it goes above their head. They all look like they're hurting. And like I would love to see that. Or even like you keep the floor open and be like, okay, cool. We're now gonna wheel in the seated athlete final. We're now going to come in for the short stature final, whatever it is, right?
yeah,
Be like, it's the same freaking room. It's not like you need to go in the corner and go work out on your own and it's zero crowd. It's like, no, 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 no.
yeah.
The finals are
It's,
held in here. The women's going to be in here. The males are going to be in here. The seated athletes are going to be in here. The neurodivergence is going to be in here. Fucking, we're all in
yep.
here.
Everybody's here. Center stage.
Center stage, baby.
It's 15, 20,000 people, I think, is what it seats. Well, I don't know. It's in Fort Worth, Texas next year.
Yeah, that's going to
So,
be nuts.
yeah, it's perfect because my sister lives down there, and I know I have a place to stay. I don't have to worry
Free
about a hotel.
accommodation, man.
So, I don't have to worry about a hotel, finding one, fighting everybody else for one. I'll
I'll
just be
have to
getting down, getting around.
I'll have to see if we can get down for that, man, or get up for that, depending on where the fuck we are.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll have to see if we can get over for that. That would be unreal.
that'd be awesome.
Yeah, dude. Boys, I think CrossFit has got less politics than mainstream sport. So I think if there's anyone out there that needs to be the catalyst and be the start, it is this thing.
Hmm.
Right? It's like, okay, cool. Well, they've been a leveler. for male, female, notoriously. They compete together
Yeah.
in some events. You know, you get the same prize money. Everything is kind of 50-50. You're like, cool. We've done that really well.
Yeah.
How do we keep on improving? Maybe it takes another 10 years, and that's
Yeah.
okay. But where's those little steps that we need to keep taking?
Yeah.
And what's the logistical problem? And I'm sure there's a lot more questions that need answering that is way out of my
Yeah.
pay grade and way out of my bandwidth. But
Yeah. No, it's the same here. I have all the answers, but I don't know how to. I don't know the reasons why they're not being implemented.
yeah, I'm sure there's a lot more. I'm sure there's a lot more things going on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
We just talk shit and
Yeah.
lift things, mate. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Exactly. It's all I'm good at.
Roller derby, mate. I'll let you. I got one more question. And I'll let you get back in and
Okay.
keep smashing things. If you could ask Mother Nature one thing, what would it be?
I could ask Mother Nature one thing. What would it be? Oh man, that's a good question. See, I'm a big fan of like our seasons here. Like I like having our seasons. But if I could have like 1 month of winter where there's snow on the ground, 1 month of summer where it's like 895 to 100 Fahrenheit plus, like, and that's it. Like the rest is 75, like winter, fall. Like I'll be happy. That's all I want. Like 1 month of the two extremes, and that's it. Everything else sits right down, like smack dab in the middle.
You might have to move, bro.
Yeah.
You might have to move to get that in, man.
I know.
It certainly ain't over the pond to the UK, mate. We don't get that type of shit.
Yeah. No,
Hell no.
we get a couple weeks of snow, but like most of what we get is like ice, like that sleet and frozen
Yeah.
rain. Like, that's what we get around here in our winters. It's kind of brutal. I can deal with snow, but you throw ice out there, like that whole equation just goes out the door. You can't do anything about it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cold enough for you to notice it, but it's not cold enough that you can kind of complain, especially with
Yeah.
your neighbors to the north.
Yeah.
How weird
Exactly.
up there, man. -40, fuck that. I'm not going anywhere near
Yeah.
that type of
No.
stuff.
No.
No,
That's too cold.
thank you.
I don't want to do a full body like cover just to make sure I can go outside to go to the store.
Yeah, if I can't take a piss in the snow, right, because it's so cold, it's too cold for me, man. If it's
Exactly.
freezing by the time it hits the floor, that's not good.
No, too cold. It's
Too
definitely too
cold.
cold.
Brother, I appreciate you so much as always,
Yeah.
man. You go enjoy your roller derby.
Will do. I appreciate it.
All right, man. We'll talk soon and touch base.
Sounds good.
All
I'll
right,
see
man.
you, man.
Peace.